Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Muse Jester. My name is Junior. Today we're going to look at the new E-Wing from the New Republic. This is the vintage 3.75 new vehicle that they've just put out from Star Wars from the Ahsoka series. So let me let me start off by saying that Hasbro or Star Wars or George Lucas has pretty much conditioned all the Star Wars fandom and the toy collectors to respond to this logo. This is kind of like the dog and the bell. You know what I mean? Like how they train the dog to start salivating at the sound of the bell. This logo makes all fandom salivate to the idea of Star Wars toys. Honestly, this is it, man. So it's a marketing genius, that they went back and abandoned the power to force whatever, um, graphic design, and went back to the original Kenner toy design, because everything basically ties in to that original vintage look. So here it is, and let's see. I'm sorry, I apologize. My display area is so small now that I really don't have anything else to show this on. Let me just go ahead and open it up, and we'll see what's going on. I just wanted to show you the gun cannons that's going to mount to the underside of the wing. It's just bare plastic, and it connects the same way as it did in the original um, toy lines, where you just plug it in. I don't think you can make a mistake on which side it goes into, because as you can see, this is keyed in to be properly specific to which wing it's going to go into. I bought two of these, and before we go on to the proper review, I just want to note that this side of my flaps are very, it's very, this one's okay, but I think this is the one that's really loose, so that when I have it right side up, this thing just hangs down. So I'm hoping that's not an occurrence on the other copy that I have. I'm gonna put down the landing gear because it will just make it easier for me to review it in a way. They used to design these landing gears so you could hook your fingernails in one of these to make it easier, but for some reason they didn't choose to do that this time. Okay. The landing gear, as you can see, is really soft and rubbery, but I feel that's okay. It will prevent any kind of breakage going on in the back. And it locks into place right there, see? So it does it nice and well. Here's the droid. It's on punch card if you guys really care for that. The KE4N4. It's kind of like a combination of R2D2 and BB8. Here's the back. There is a small blurb. Astromech droid KE4N4 served alongside New Republic E-Wing pilot Lieutenant Callahan on Lothal. I did not get her figure. Maybe I should. Just to let you guys know, I really was not planning on getting this E-Wing. There is no nostalgia connection whatsoever for me. We only saw it very, very briefly in Ahsoka with basically as a traffic cop, which is very unflattering. Kind of like a motorcycle cop, honestly. So I wasn't planning on getting it, especially not at the $100 range, especially after the N1 Starfighter issue that I had. Um, Even though it's a brand new design, it's never been released before. It's $100, so it's a lot cheaper than the N1 Starfighter. It's equivalent to the price of the new X-Wing that is just a re-release, as far as I know. Um, this droid is pretty. You can take that off if you want to. It's pretty sharp. All the details are pretty clean. Here's R2D2. I'm not entirely sure which wave this one came from, but as you can see from the side paneling, it's all basically the same as this R2D2. The head is different, as you can see. Very reminiscent of BB-8 with a big eye in there. Um, yeah, just painted differently, but I don't mind. I mean, an astromech is an astromech. So going back about the E-wing, there I have no emotional connection to this unit whatsoever, and I saw the review of it, and I wasn't really attached to it. I wasn't also attached to the design of this one. I think it has like a falcon or an eagle bird design with this swoop over here. Um, that we're not used to. And this one, the wings, this wing configuration, also I'm not familiar with any other Star Wars design. Of course, we know about the turbine jets over here, but this one, this curved design, I'm not familiar with any of the Star Wars design vehicles. Um, but I will say this in comparison to the N1 Starfighter, because remember that was a junkyard ship that originated as a Naboo starship. And Naboo starships are known to be very sleek design. This is definitely not sleek. You can see panel lines here that are actual panel lines. They're not just painted. You can see designs going on off to the side over here. And a little bit of spray muzzle or spray gun over here, which is kind of weird that they did that on this side. And that's the only paint application aside from some small decals and this one over here and some green grays and silver. But why did they do it in that side? Why not in this one? I don't know. um, but as I was saying, it's got a lot of surface detail that's going on that's very, very lacking from the N1 Starfighter. This is a well designed vehicle, even though there's not a lot of paint on this vehicle. It's bare plastic. It has a lot more paint application than the N1 Starfighter. More so because it's spread out throughout the vehicle, so it doesn't seem as if we are lacking in paint application. As you can see, I'm not a big fan of the design. I'm not a big fan of the choice of colors. But it is a well-designed vehicle. It really is. The only nitpick I had was again the landing gear flopping in and out, and this one over here where if I remember how to take it off, how this thing is just a slide off. There's no more hinge that it should have been here. I think the N1 Starfighter uses the same way where you take off the whole thing instead of a hinge. And maybe that's a good thing because for something this small, this lip, maybe a hinge would just snap off. Maybe this is a better method of doing things. And you also see that inside the compartment, also on the bottom side of the compartment, there are details that's in there as well. Yes, definitely this could use more paint. I will say that now. This will look much better with paint application. But for $99, maybe it's good enough. Um, I did not pay $99 for this one. I wasn't willing to buy this for $99. I was kind of on the fence. I didn't pre-order this. I was gonna wait and see if there was some leftover stock and whatever, and decide later on. Let fate decide. But fate did decide for me because on one of the Facebook pages they mentioned that Disney Store was having a 25% off. So I bought this for $75. And for $75, definitely the value increases way up compared to the price of the $75 rather than the original 100. You know, maybe I would say that now that I'm holding on to it, now that I'm playing with it, at the 100 price, the value would have equaled the price that you pay for this one. Look at this tail guns. It doesn't really do anything but just there. It would have equaled the price that you paid for this. I think you would have gotten exactly what you paid for with this one because it really is a very, very well done, well designed ship. It's got a lot of greebles, got a lot of paneling design, a lot of intricate workings and everything. But for the price of $75, yes, definitely the value on this one increases up. I would say the value in this one is about 12 to 13. I did get two. I was sorely tempted to get more than this one. Just so happens that I have the number 5 stuck in my mind when I'm collecting ships. Maybe because I keep thinking of Luke Skywalker's Red 5. So I want 5 X wings, I want 5 B wings, I want 5 Y wings, and all that stuff. So I was really, you know what? I should have gotten 5 of these. I got 2, so that was like $150 for 2 of them. But at the time that I bought it, I was really, really in the grips of spending a lot of money on the vintage 3.75. I had overspent, and I I had to constrain myself with 2 because I didn't really know what to expect with this vehicle and how I would feel about it. At the $100 range, I won't get any more. But if it does go back on sale again, then I'll probably get 3 more. Because it really is a nicely designed ship, even though I'm not a big fan of its design. I'm gonna use this right now. This is a smaller figure than a usual 3.75. I think these are like the cadets or something. See how it's much more smaller it is? I don't know. But I did see somebody putting in a regular figure in this one and it fits just fine. So knowing this guy is a smaller figure, I'm sure he's gonna fit okay. Yeah. Actually, he fits way too okay in there. Oh, there you go. You can push him down a little bit more to give him headway. because for a taller figure, you're definitely going to need a lot more space. Now, I'm going to try to do a comparison with my X-Wing because just to show you guys the size, but I really can't do justice on comparison because I just don't have the space for it. This is the electronic power of the force X-Wing. I'm still sad that this is the type of toy that we used to get way back in the day, but you know, and honestly, it's not because of cost. No, it's all because of profit margins that we are not getting this type of toy feature from any other feature, any other toy that we're getting right now. So as you can see, this is the back is no or back to back as the E-wing. Um, kind of doesn't show it because of the perspective, but it is back to back, and the X-wing is at least 2 inches longer than the E-wing. And if I were to lay the main body side by, on top of each other, the X-wing is wider than the E-wing. As you can see, the reason why I was impressed with the paneling on this one and I wasn't so impressed with the paneling on the N1 Starfighter is because of this. Look, this is what I expect from a Star Wars toys. And look at the canopy on this one is really old. And it just has stickers. The newer ones has more design similar to the A-wing, the E-wing over here. But look at how the E-wing now emulates what we are accustomed to from the older vehicles. So will the new X-wing that's currently on pre-order for $99, which is equal to the price of the E-wing, be the same size as that X-wing that we just saw? I don't know. I canceled it because I was able to get another electronic X-wing from the 1990s era for $60. So that was a no-brainer for me. But this $99, I think if because I pre-ordered the X-wing for $99, that's coming out, which is a repaint of the one I just showed you. And I would have kept that if I hadn't gotten already 5 X-wings from previous releases. Um, so I believe the so I believe that the 99 price range for these types of vehicles um, can be justified. Like I said, I was on the fence for this one for getting it for a full price of $99. Um, only because I wasn't familiar with the ship, only because there's no nostalgic connection for this ship for me. If you were to say the TIE Interceptor that they were going to re-release it for $99, I'd probably pre-order it, just as I was initially going to pre-order the X-Wing re-release. But I was first shocked that these vehicles did not come with pilots on them and only came with the astromechs. But I learned that even way back then, they didn't really come with pilots. The pilots were separate from the vehicles. That one is an exception because the pilots is actually connected with the vehicle because the head turns as a feature, as a play feature. But the older Star Wars vehicles did not contain pilots. Those were always has always been separate from the vehicle. So I was disappointed at first, but knowing that that's the way it was before, I'm not so disappointed now. Yeah, it does come with the astromech, so that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, for the price of $75, I would say the value in this one jumps up to 12. It's a really good ship. It's well built. The design, well, I know I'm kind of confusing you when I say the design is good, but I don't like the design. Let's just say that the the features on the surfaces of the ship is well done. We have paneling, we have greebles and everything. We have surface details that are really good. Not necessarily the design of the whole ship. I'm still maybe if they use it more in the show, then I'll have some more emotional attachment to it. I just learned recently that this E-wing actually made an appearance in a game, Star Wars game or a Star Wars comic book. I'm not entirely sure. So it does have history in there. I'm just not really familiar with the history of this. I'm still stuck in the my Star Wars is still the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6. I was okay with 1, 2, and 3, and just as I'm okay with 7, 8, 9. I'm more okay with 1, 2, and 3 because that's the origin of Darth Vader than 7, 8, 9. But yeah, um, well done. So I really hope that Hasbro continues to make more ships for us, more designs, uh, and they offer it to us. Hopefully at a lower price point. I know we're never gonna get electronics and sounds anymore, but which is a shame. But yeah, this is still a pretty good buy. I'm glad I was able to get it. I'm glad that the Disney Store chose to put it on discount, even though it hasn't been released yet. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for any more discounts, and I'll if I see it on sale again for 25% off, I'll buy three more. Finish off the E-wing Armada, well, E-wing group. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next review.